look at this squad. Graziano growing in the hair. I like it. I like the way it looks.
Might have slept through a haircut.
Slept through a haircut the other day. I like it. Fortenbaugh's ready to roll. As always, has the vest. Tannenbaum is up, cutting deals this morning. Look at the squad we've put together today. JWill is getting ready to talk hoops. Neek is up with us. Tim is up with us. And we begin with what happened last night in OKC. Holy smoke. This could not have gone worse for the Lakers under any circumstances. This was going to be the game, right? They had this great march, right? That man, Luka Doncic, played so well going up against SGA. Well, first quarter, this is what the entire first quarter looked like. The Lakers missing, and then SGA, watch this move. Look at this move. Leaving Austin Reeves standing still. Thunder by 11. Shortly after that, LeBron, we got another turnover. We're going the other way. The Thunder had 14 points off turnovers in the first quarter. This is Lou Dort knocking down a three. Thunder by 16. Now, here's where it gets much, much worse. We're in the second quarter, late in the half, and just look at Luka. Forget about the play. Look at Luka grabbing the hamstring, hobbling up and down the floor. Look at him again. Get him out of there. Get him out of the game. There's 20 seconds left in the half. SGA, by the way, in this sequence was going to make a free throw to extend the lead to 35 points. It's a 31-point game at halftime. And in the third quarter, Luka is still out there. Inexplicably and perhaps inexcusably. Look what happens. So easy to see coming. 4.5 minutes into the third, Luka goes down. It's a left hamstring. He would not get up. He would not return. He looked in a lot of pain. This looked bad. You'll hear from J.J. Redick and our take on it in a moment. In the meantime, the game would just continue. SGA would score 28. The Thunder would wind up winning it 139-96. So a statement on one side. But the statements we really wanted to hear were from J.J. Redick after the game.
JJ, what's the situation with Luka's hamstring?
We'll do an MRI tomorrow, left hamstring. We'll know more tomorrow.
Is there a thought that it's maybe not worth it to play him tonight, considering you guys are 2 weeks away?
Yeah, I mean, it was discussed at halftime. Thought we'd give those guys about 6 minutes, and then we were going to, if we didn't cut into the lead, we were going to pull them. And obviously it was around that time that I don't remember the exact time, but that happened.
The exact time was 7:39 remaining in the third quarter. So roughly 4.5 minutes into the second half in a game that was hopelessly out of control. And Luka gets hurt, and it really looked bad. Tim McMahon, I'll start with you. What's your initial reaction?
I mean, this is, as you said, injury, forget to insult, to embarrassment. They were humiliated, and now Luka's hurt, complete disaster for the Lakers. It puts his All-NBA status probably up in smoke. Forget about the MVP. That was done by the end of the first quarter. The Lakers looked like absolute pretenders, but you don't want to overreact to even a blowout loss in the regular season. To have their superstar go down, though, we don't know the severity, but even in the best case, the start of the playoffs at least is in jeopardy for Luka, and this could not have gone worse for the Lakers.
Parenthetically, Luka has played in 64 games this year. We're all aware of the 65-game threshold. They have 5 games remaining. We'll see just how bad this injury is, and we'll talk a little more about that side of the story a little later. But JWill, I mean, you're an athlete all your life. You see, what to your eye, I always say, if you're hurt, ask a doctor. If you can't find a doctor, ask a professional athlete. They know these things better than anybody. You saw that. What did it look like to you with Luka there?
It's a soft tissue injury, Greeny. I'm torn with something like this. It's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback when you're not in the huddle or you're not in the locker room with the coaching staff, with the medical staff. And the only thing I'll push back on all these accusations that is JJ to blame for Luka's injury is what the hell do we play this season for? Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, our players soft, our players playing through injury. And I know that you can say, hey, the playoffs are 2 weeks away, but at the same time, you're playing for that third spot. You're playing not to play OKC, so you're playing to actually have Denver not get on your ass. So at some point, you got to play. And I'm sure that Luka, with the staff, with the coach, were able to sit down and talk about, sometimes in games like this, Greeny, even if you're getting smacked by 35 points, you play those first 6 minutes of the third quarter, you cut into the lead, all of a sudden there's a ball game going on in the fourth quarter. So I get it. But for me, this is why you play the game to come down to the last 2 weeks of the regular season and the playoffs.
I'll buy it. So then, Tim, let me come to you then. And Jay, jump in if you know differently or know more. Give me all the people who have to sign off on him playing. It's what JJ says. Our game plan, the coach can decide, all right, we're going to leave our starters in there for the first 6 minutes and see if we make it a game. But he doesn't decide that until some other person or people tell him, yes, it's okay to send Luka back out there. Who are those people, Tim?
Right. That's why I have a hard time blaming J.J. Redick. He is not making medical decisions. The Lakers have a medical staff. They have athletic trainers. They've got, a doctor. Luka has his own body team that travels with him on a full-time basis. Multiple people, including a physiotherapist. So this is Luka's body team working in consultation with the Lakers medical and training staff, and that's who clears him to play and tells JJ that he's available. And then, Luka's part of the conversations, but given the circumstances, they were getting blown out. They were down 30-something at the half. He clearly was grabbing at his hamstring. Now we'll see if he's available once the playoffs roll around. This is absolutely fair to second guess this situation.
Yeah, second guess is one thing, and I understand both sides of it. Jay, I don't see it the same way you see it, but I understand the logic of the way you see it. So we'll see what winds up happening with him. Now, Oklahoma City. Jay, just give me a quick take on that. Now, buried beneath the injury here to Luka is OKC. Even before he got hurt, a 30-point smackdown on the Lakers. What did they show, JWill, last night, this Thunder team heading into the playoffs?
They're just who they are defensively, Greeny. The first quarter, literally, they blitzed the Lakers just by ball pressure. That's always been a conversation around the Lakers with Austin Reeves and some of their ball handlers. I think Austin Reeves had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. It's due to ball pressure, them getting out of transition, and how dominant they are. Everybody will talk about SGA and obviously his upside offensively, but it's the overall versatility of this team defensively with their guards and their length that make them a formidable character to obviously win another NBA championship.
They looked so ridiculously good last night. We'll have a lot more from the NBA as we go, but we have Fortenbaugh with us all morning long, our betting expert, and I will point out that last week on this program, Joe gave you 9 best bets, and all 9 of them hit. So that's a pretty good batting average. Let's see how we do this week.
Should imagine it'll keep going.
Let's talk about OKC. You see some
No
value
pressure, Joe.
with their big rivals out west, right? Is that the first place we begin?
Yeah, I still think you look at the Spurs at plus 350. Since February 1st, they're 27-2. They're number 1 in offensive rating, number 2 in defensive rating, number 1 in net rating. They have the head-to-head over OKC, although that doesn't matter as much as some might think going into the playoffs. The thing I want to focus on is how often we knock San Antonio for not having experience in the playoffs. Okay, but couldn't that also help to an extent? Oklahoma City played 23 playoff games last year, an extra 2 months of basketball that San Antonio didn't play. If these two meet, it's going to be in the Western Conference Finals. The rest advantage is going to lie with San Antonio.
Okay, we'll do the MVP one a little later. I want to get to my football crew, but we have much more, including the 65-game debate that I think is going to get super loud all across NBA.